Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm in a blazer. We are business professional ready. You guys know whenever I put on the big girl outfit that it's about to go down and something big is gonna happen. And today that is absolutely accurate. I am so excited to finally on camera, like me and you here in the studio, I am excited to finally show you the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Palette Volume 1, tell you about the formula, give you a good, just juicy arm swatch session, up on the shoulder, close-ups. We're gonna just plow into everything. And I have butterflies. I really have butterflies, and I keep using a butterfly emoji for Tati Beauty whenever I'm posting over on IG, whenever I am tweeting, whenever I am anywhere. I'm just like butterflies everywhere because to me, that is such a beautiful symbol of transformation, obviously, but also it's a feeling. And for me, it feels excited and a little bit anxious. And I just literally feel like they're just kind of floating around inside of me. This feels like I have waited for this moment. I needed to do Halo first. You guys know beauty from the inside out is so incredibly important to me. It's incredibly important to who I am and my lifestyle. And I'm a big believer in taking care of yourself and your health, and that beauty can really shine and stem from that. But then when we come into makeup and color and play and everything that I love doing here on my channel as far as artistry goes, that can take on a whole different thing and be a whole different story. I just kind of feel like makeup sometimes is a choose your own adventure, and you can add that wing, you can add a little hit of shine, you can go full force with lashes, you can, just do a little gloss and mascara and be out the door. And really, it is your story to tell, and you are in charge of it. You are driving the vehicle of your own beauty. I created this brand knowing that I wanted to bring out products that would help someone's routine feel better, that would help someone's day feel a little more centered and powerful because they felt so good about their overall appearance. And there's just no arguing that when you feel that you look good, you are different. There's a different skip in your step. There's a different vibrancy. There's a different eye contact. There's a different connection. There's a different boldness about you. That being said, we get to be the ones in charge of what that feels like to us. Some people like tons of color, and I assure you down the line, there will be that. But I had to start with the baseline of something that spoke to my heart and my routine and my daily go-to in what I would envision as the perfect palette. And that's why I created the Textured Neutrals Volume 1 to be a warm neutral tone palette that has a little hit of this and that. You have that plum, beautiful, bright purple. We have one of the sequin shades has a little bit of a violet blue kind of, shining through with all this activity. But then you also have your basic go-tos. You have an espresso brown, you have a black, you have a cream color. So useful. Those three alone are necessary to do all of the things. You can line the eyes, you can highlight, you can, add a little bit of lightness to one of the shades, add a little bit of depth to another. So it's really gonna help you to kind of mix, match, and maximize your palette. And then as far as a transition shade or more of a neutral tone, I went with a camel type tone. This was something that I felt was very universally flattering, and I felt like it looked good on so many different skin tones. So Soothe is a shade that I wanted to start with being just kind of in that basics set. And I'm okay with that word. We all need basics, whether it's a basic tee, a basic pair of jeans, a basic blazer. You need those tools so that you can then layer in other fun things, which is also why we have shine in the palette to kind of bling it out a little bit. And I want to talk about everything. Oh my goodness. She's arrived. Oh my God. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm on a first date. I started this journey because I wanted to feel more beautiful. I wanted to connect with people that had similar interests, and I wanted to make friends, and I wanted to express myself. And I was a freelance makeup artist, and I never had that career really take off, but oh my gosh, I love product, and I love color, and I love makeup, and I love creating. And so I found YouTube at the right time in my life. It was so healing. And I was just about the end result of feeling pretty. I feel like I can take on the day better when I feel like I have that extra shine about myself. I feel more pulled together. I feel like I took a moment for me and it shows. And I like that, but it's about me. It's personal. It's not for anyone else. It's not so that other people can go, yes, you are the best artist ever. Like, that's not what it is for me. And I'm now back to this place where I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it for me. And I like natural tones, and I like glitter, and I like metallics, and I like to feel beautiful and not like I'm just trying to show off my skills. I love looking at those Instagram pictures and I love admiring, but as far as functionality in my day-to-day life, I just want to feel good. So that's where we're starting. That doesn't mean that I don't have a lot of fun in mind for the future, because I do love color. I just like everything to have ease and elegance with it, and I want it to make sense so that whether you are advanced or you are a beginner, you can enjoy the products that I'm gonna bring out for you guys. So let's just dive right on in. This is the PR box, you guys. I had such an incredible time at the event that I hosted for subscribers. I want to do that again. It was just pure magic, and I will be doing random giveaways and I will be doing events, and I just have this spark to reconnect in an even more meaningful way with you guys. So it was the best night ever. To everyone that attended, thank you so much. So everyone at the event got the Textured Neutrals Volume 1, again with the storybook theme. I want it to be like mysterious, enchanted, fairy tale, sexy, beautiful, just magical kind of a thing. And I want the books to kind of stack, so I am gonna stick with the book theme. The palette itself, let's just take a nice peek at her. I really wanted to have a lay flat palette, so you can just set this on your vanity, or if you want to, you can bend this back. It will eventually wear in to where you can do that. So you will be able to get it to that point. But initially, like, I want it just lay flat, because the other thing that I do is I tend to use my mirror as a little bit of a palette sometimes, and then I just kind of wipe it clean, kind of how I use my Scott Barnes palette. So if I am going to town and doing my makeup, it's a great thing. You can literally put primer or whatever here. It's a flat surface, and clean it, and there you go. Obviously it's a large, generous sized mirror. That was important to me. I needed it to be a crisp reflection back to where I could really see the makeup, and there was enough room and space to get a clear idea of what I was doing. So I really wanted to do a matte soft touch finish. I know it gets really dirty. Like, that was something that I kind of did a toss and turn over, because I feel sometimes with a shinier finish, it looks just not as appetizing when you first have that like wonderful moment of like reveal, because at the end of the day, every single palette out there gets dirty. It just does. If it gets messed up, then great. That's like a lived in pair of jeans that you wear over and over, and they're your favorite. So I'm okay with that. In the future, I hear your feedback. I want to hear what you guys think. So I'm always game to change things. I'm always wanting to be in tune with you guys. I've shown that with Halo through the refill packs, through changing over to clear veggie capsules. I want to have a brand where I'm the CEO. I listen and I can change things, and we can do this. And I want to have you know that I see you, I hear you, and you're a part of it. So that being said, I'll always take things into consideration. This is made here in the US. This is a vegan formula. It is cruelty-free and paraben-free. And we are going to now dive in to all 4 finishes. It's time to get even more serious and actually swatch up the shoulders. Ooh, I should have worn a strapless for this. It's fine. We don't care around here. We're kind of fabulous and a little messy all at once. I'm gonna do a little shoulder swatcheroo for you guys, and also you're gonna get a close-up as well. We're going to do it all. I also have over on IG swatches that you will be seeing on arms, on fair, medium, and deep skin tones, and you'll get everything on everyone. So go follow the Tati Beauty IG account. I want to start with the mattes, and the way that I like to go into these products right here, specifically the bottom 2 rows that have that matte base, I like to actually grab if I'm going to be using my fingertips. I know everybody has a heyday when I use my fingertips for a matte shadow, but I do use them for matte shadows from time to time, not always, but you can. Like Aura, I will always use my fingertip and just boom, 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 boom. Like if I just want to lay quick color down, get rid of some of the veins that show through on my eyelids, I'll just do that. But you can absolutely take a brush. What I would recommend with any of the mattes is either just like dip in, like here. I'm dipping in pretty aggressively because I want to show you guys it does get a bit dusty. Tap that excess off, okay? What I am after with a matte shadow is smoothness, and I want even texture, I want even pigmentation. The matte formula is a very elevated matte formulation, and I always tell you guys, you can get, you know, your version of beauty done on any budget. You don't have to have this. You can go to the drugstore, but something that you will always notice at the drugstore or with less expensive makeup is that usually the mattes are not as smooth. They're maybe a little bit patchy. The metallics usually are always great. Like, you know, shine is shine. I have some technology within the metallics that I'm really excited about. But you know, at the drugstore on a budget, usually you do pretty well with metallics. It's the mattes that are like, oh God, like what is that? And they can just be a pain in the neck to blend. So you have to use a little extra of your time and you're using more product. With this, you need less product. It's not gonna take you as much time. So I'm gonna first just kind of show you guys, there's no choppiness there. It's just very, very even. And you can really just kind of move the shadow around as you see fit. Now that I showed you Soothe blown out like that, let me just show you a swatch. So the blendability on the eyes is what impresses me most with this formula. So I'm gonna go in now with Memory, which is really just like the most intense, rich, but easy to blend black. This makes an excellent liner. It wears all day long. You can just kind of add a little on the outer corner. You can dip in a little bit of Memory along with Ritual or Story or whatever you like to kind of deepen up whatever you are doing. The base of the mattes is translucent. It's not a cloudy filler. It is more expensive to formulate it that way, but mattes were important to me. Like everybody looks at this palette and they're like, oh, textured neutrals, like look at those high shine, you know, sparkly numbers at the top and this and that. But the mattes really tell you if a palette is good or not. That's just my own personal opinion. And these ones are just like so good. They blow out, blend out. So when you see on my eyes how it kind of has that like fade, that's what I'm talking about. Basically, what I am getting at with all of these is as much as I believe it's important to be able to swatch and kind of feel texture and talk about it and showcase it and give a better idea of just what the product feels like, you do need to try this on your eyes to get the full experience. Now these mattes, they're a pressed pigment. They have that intensity. They have the ability to do a single swipe and you're out the door. It's a rich color payoff. So go slow. Take a little dip, bang off the excess so you don't have any fallout. You don't need much. I think the big thing that I want to educate you guys on with the mattes is a little goes a long way. And once that color is blown out and blended, it's locked in tight. It's very long wearing. It's a conditioning formula. It has coconut derivatives in it, which you guys know I don't like that for my face. But on my eyes, I'm not breaking out. I'm not getting clogged pores on my eyes, so it's fine. I love coconut. It's a great way to add a little conditioning element, and the just feeling and texture of the mattes just overall is so smooth and soft to the touch. Here is Ritual. Okay, here is Aura. This is the one that I would say go in with a layered amount, go in with a light touch. If you put it on, it is going to completely cancel out because of how rich the intensity is, and it is so pigmented. It's like this milky, beautiful, creamy. It will highlight anything. I've used it down the bridge of the nose. I've used it inner corner. Like it will just lighten up everything, and it has the power to do that. And it has like a great blend out, and I think it is such a gorgeous, gorgeous tone. Then we have Poet. One of my favorite colors on the planet. You guys know I love purple so much. Expect to see more of that. This is not a shy color. It really just isn't. Go in very, very lightly, because this shade, I mean, like I went like this in the pan, tap, 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 and like it is, whew. Okay, so one row above, we now have the sequin formula. One of the most unusual formulas that I personally have ever seen, and I am so proud to have this formula under the Tati Beauty brand. I have full creative control. I am the CEO. This is mine. This is my baby. I did not want to manufacture in China, and that's not to say that all China makeup is terrible. It's not. But I feel best knowing that my lab is within driving distance. I don't have to hop on an airplane, and I can participate and be involved. And I can know that where this product is being manufactured is clean. You will find an address on the back of the palette. And for those of you that put on your investigation hats, then you will notice that I am manufacturing with Seed Beauty. They have been in the game for a very long time. I'm so proud to be working with them, and I am grateful for their expertise. They have done it right for a long time. They have a great track record, and I really like their team, and I really like their capabilities, and I really like that everything is made here, and that even the design of packaging, just everything A to Z, I have access to build and create. And this is mine, this is my formula. So don't go thinking that it's just like I pointed like, you know, like this, and then it's like, all right, cool, we're done, high five. Like, that's not how it is. I have very high standards for makeup. I know how this will be scrutinized because I've waited so long. So you better believe that I did everything in my power to make sure that this was as perfect as it could be. And even still, I'm sitting here now and I'm like, I want your feedback so that I can make what I already think is perfect even better. So please bring that to me. I know you're gonna enjoy this, but I wanna be that brand that continues to wow and is like, oh my gosh, I thought it was good, but this is getting so much better. And like, that's my story. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so let's get into the sequins. Now, this is a tricky formula. Most sequin formulas, you will notice, after like half of the pan is gone, all of the pearl reflection kind of disappears, and you're like, where'd you go? Hello, where are you? Through and through, the fieriness and the activity that you see when it reflects light is there top to bottom. I love this formula. This is a patting motion formula unless you are just taking one shade all over the lid with a crease brush. That would be the one time that I would say go ahead and kind of, you know, windshield wiper motions and buff and blend and do as you desire. But if you want that fieriness, if you want that reflection to kind of show through on the lid, then use a packing pressing motion. Again, it has that base that is just rich in pigmentation. Less is more. So let's move into these swatches. I mean, like, come on, right? Like, that's gorgeous. My favorite to wear, just kind of like on the go, out the door, that I like to consider like my daytime glitter. You can take this shade and just kind of like fluff it all over the lid. You could take the shade Soothe and do the same thing. If you have deeper skin, you can take Ritual. You know, you can just take that one baseline neutral shade and you have just a little bit of coverage. You're canceling out any of that discoloration or veins that might show through, and you're adding like this little like, hi, look at me. You know, it's that in between. So we have the sequin row. I'm gonna show you Aura. This is like my favorite. It really is. This one right here. This is the one that made me want this formula to exist in this palette. Moving on to Soothe. It's just got all of that activity in there, and once you have it on, it's just like, oh my God, it's so good. I'm gonna throw a little light on it so you guys can see. I think you can kind of see, right? Isn't that gorgeous? Like, oh my gosh. I like live for the subtle reflection in the sequin formulation. Okay, moving on to Story, one of my favorites. This one has more of a contrast. So you notice that Poet, Story, and Memory, the pigmentation and the pearl collide differently. There's just more activity in it because there is a contrast. Now, with Aura, It's a little different because that pale pink with the cream does not provide as much of a contrast, but I just think it's so special almost because of that, you know? And Ritual is the same thing. It has gold and brown kind of vibing off each other. The contrast is there, but it's just a little more subtle. It also will soften things in the crease. If you ever blend and you're like, whoops, because that happens, you can take any one of these and kind of just softly kind of diffuse whatever nightmare you've put yourself in. Okay, moving on to Memory. This one is just the most intense out of all of them. This is so great if you are doing a smoky eye and you want something that is just like, wow, wow, wow. It's so stunning. And this has a little bit of a purple violet with like silver champagne. It's just so interesting and so gorgeous. Now, the sequins, remember, don't get aggressive with it. Otherwise, you will lose that little like pinpoint glimmer that's in there. You want to control that so you have this effect on the eyes. And I think I've said it 10,000 times in this video, but I will be doing a lot of tutorials over on IG, over on Snap, and here on my channel. But I'm also gonna make sure that I keep with my regular reviews. That was something really important to me as well. So we're gonna move into the metallics. These metallics, really, I mean, they're so special. There is a gloss coating of the pearl pigments that just almost adds to that wet finish. And it is a kind of secret sauce type of way of mixing and allows the pigmentation to be very, very smooth. I wanted that to happen. Like actually I threw away so many versions because they were too chunky. I was like, I want it to be really shiny, but it has to be so soft and so smooth because metallics can be challenging for women who have any signs of aging on their eyes because there's just too much texture and it almost clings to the lines on your eyes. This does not. It is silky. It feels soft to the touch. And you can use this wet or dry. You can apply it with your fingertips. You can apply it with a brush. It's really up to you. And I just think you guys are going to be so impressed with these metallics. They steal the show. Story is the most textured one of all of the metallics. It has a little bit extra so the formulas are pretty standard, but there were minor tweaks that were made because really I wanted each and every pan that you see in this palette to be so special and perfect. So this one is a little bit more on the textured side, but I love it because the reflection ends up being just like so juicy and stunning, and from afar it almost just like grabs light to you and you're just like, hi. And then we have the shade Soothe. Anyone can wear this. You can just like slap this on the lid and get out the door and you're like so good. It's so flattering. I love wearing this on the center of the lid. I think anyone can look good in this shade. Then we have the shade Aura. You notice the shades are the same. The idea is you have that shade that you love in every version possible. So you could actually take row by row by row and you could literally do like the ultimate smoky eye just right here. But you're like, oh, hey, I wish I had a transition shade. That's the only thing that would make this quad better. Like if this were in a quad, well, you got that over here. And then you're like, oh, I just wish I had that one little like piece of metallic to just hit under the brow bone. Well, you got that in Aura. Oh my gosh, I went too hard. It's like looking a little bit too smoky. Then you go up here and you take a hit of like the metallic or sequin Aura or golden, and you can kind of manipulate and move the color story and the idea of whatever you are doing around. There are options. I also set it up in a way where when you look diagonally, the color story is flattering no matter which way you slice it or dice it. It's gonna look awesome. This is the easiest palette to use, and I love the idea of having monochromatic tones across the board, just in all these beautiful different texture finishes. It made sense to me. This is something I've wanted to create for like 7 years. I literally turned down, by the way, in the art of transparency and telling you guys everything, because there's a huge conversation right now about what's real, what isn't behind the scenes. I turned down a deal. Baseline was $5 million. I probably would have made 10, but there is integrity here and there is a vision here, and I'm not in it for the low-hanging fruit. I'm not in it for a quick journey. Like, I was doing an interview and it's like, why do you work so much? Or why do you want another company? Or why are you doing all this? And I'm like, because I love it. Like, I'm not looking at the clock going, oh my God, I hope the day's over. Like, I wake up and I'm like, I get to do this. What a privilege. And it matters. And so I don't want this to go away anytime soon. So I am doing everything in my power to have longevity and to do it well enough that you guys keep coming back for more. So it's not the initial dollar amount that's in front of me that grabs my attention. It's the bigger dream. And I think I will find success, and it might not happen like this. It might take time. And I also want to say I'm not someone that's against anybody being successful or making money. I think it's terrible when people do the wrong things to make money. I've said that before. But if you're like going with your instinct and your heart and you feel good about it, go for it. There's nothing wrong with doing those big deals. But if you know in your gut that you have more to say, hold out. Don't settle. Don't settle in your job. Don't settle in your passions and hobbies, things that interest you. Don't settle in your partnerships, in your friendships. You are the one in charge of not just your beauty story, but of your worthiness of what you're going to draw in. And I hope that that sticks with you guys, because the more I've tuned in and leaned into that, the more blessings have just come to me, and the right things at the right time. And this was the right thing at the right time. It was hard to walk away from that other deal because that felt like lottery, but this feels like a dream come true. And I hope you guys know how much I truly mean that. Okay, whoo, this is Aura. I think mine is on fire right now. I love you guys. You're the real deal. I had never been happier than I was at that party. I started this because I wanted friendship, and I could have exchanged numbers and been friends with all of you guys. Like, you were all so special and smart and gorgeous, and you all made friends with each other. It was like the coolest thing ever. So anyway, let's get into Poet. This is kind of duochrome. This is the one you want to kind of layer up just a tiny, tiny little bit, because it does look different in different lighting, but that is just like smooth, rich, gorgeous, everything. We're about to get a little wild and talk about the pressed glitters, which are not intended for your eyes, but you can use them however you wish. I have to say that, and actually I don't have to say that. You can just put that on the back of the packaging. A lot of companies do that. Some companies don't even do that. And the reason that, call out is there is so that somebody does not rub it in their eyes. Now, unfortunately, we live in a world where sometimes common sense is not common. And I just want to reiterate, don't line the eyes with this. Do not put this in your waterline. Do not rub the eye or put this in your eye. There is texture here. You can visually see that there's texture here. It's not craft glitter, but still be mindful and, press the product on the lid if you choose to use it as a topper. It's shiny, it's playful, it's an add-on, it's a topper, and I had to include this in here. There are different shapes within the glitter formula itself, the way they're pressed, the way the, coconut and the different gel base kind of meshes and the way it's pressed. It all lifts off your finger. And that's the most impressive thing to me, because I have tried so many other glitters. I don't want to shade other companies in this video. I'm not interested in that, but I do feel like I have to show you guys something, what I'm talking about. For a holiday, we're seeing tons of glitter. This is a more scratchy one. It is so pretty. This is not Tati Beauty. This is something that you could purchase from a main player brand in Sephora. When you go to actually do the full pull, and if you do any kind of a pat down blend situation, it just kind of all wants to stick to the fingertip. There's not enough wetness in here to get it off the finger, and it does have that grit where it kind of just fluffs around. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I really love that these almost feel a little bit wet to the touch, and they are just oof, not playing around. So I like to use kind of a patting, pulling motion if you really want to maximize the coverage in here. The other thing with the glitters, you don't need to press very hard. They are squishy, they do feel kind of wet. Go in here like this, tap, 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 kind of press in and get it on your fingertip. That's best. You can use it on a brush too, which is pretty nice because not all glitters will do that for you. But definitely don't press too hard, just swirl it around. You don't need to be aggressive with this, you know? Oh my God. And do you see what I'm talking about? Like it removes from my finger. Like that's just not that common. This is just marvelous. Nailed this formula. So, so, so proud. And I know you guys are gonna see a lot of glitters in eyeshadow palettes, especially for the holidays, but this is something that I truly am like, like this is it, like nailed it. The nice thing about the darker glitter too, and I'm wearing this one today, is you can do almost an ombre effect where if you're doing a smoky eye and you have just tapped a little bit of glitter on the center of the lid, you can actually take a darker glitter and just hit it a little bit back here on the outer corner, and it gives like this ombre kind of smoky, like how'd she do that kind of a look. Again, do it as the last step. I highly recommend doing the glitters very, very last, and do not go back in and buff and blend because that's when things will move around. If you use this as your last step and you are like hands off from there, it's gonna be there until you decide to take it off wherever you decide to use it. I personally like an oily makeup remover to remove glitters. I've been working on this for a very long time. I knew the launch date a long time ago. I knew it was gonna be a fall palette. That's why it looks very fall. I didn't just like snap my fingers and like poof, here it is. It fell out of the sky and like we're just gonna launch now just cause. I had the concept for monochromatic textures for many years now. I have so many other collections I wanna come out with. I'm just really excited to scale this brand and turn it into a legit thing where we keep creating, innovating, and bringing out products that will really impress you guys and help your routine. And I think you'll be surprised by some of the things that I have up my sleeve because they're really different. And I love that. And I've always wanted to kind of, you know, be on my own path. So like, here we are. I don't really know how this is gonna go. I hope well. But we do have limited stock. If we are blessed enough to sell out, then I will be doing pre-sales and that will arrive before the holidays. I believe before the 15th of December, and then I will work quickly, hard and smart on an extra restock that will be kind of smaller, but we'll try to get that in around the holidays as well. This is not sold in stores. This is just on tatibeauty.com. That's it. And it will be first come, first serve. We are shipping globally. We accept Afterpay, PayPal, and Apple Pay. Shipping prices are very competitive, $4.99 US ground. There will be expedited shipping that will be a bit more. We have global shipping. This is kind of all the boring stuff. You'll find it online on the site. But I am really priding myself on taking it in a way where this is done right and done well instead of just making so many palettes for my first go. I'm not there yet. I hope that I am in the future, but this is like the first run with it. I hope you guys go and check out the site at minimum and enjoy the photos and the story. And if you choose to purchase and try this out, I am honored. And it has been the biggest blessing of my life, this job, this right here, making videos. I love it so much, and there won't be anything in this world that can ever steal that from me. So thank you guys so much. I love you. Keep the questions coming. I'm here to answer them. I want that conversation to evolve and be there. And yeah, how exciting. We're here. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for everything. Really. Thank you for everything. I love you guys. Mwah.